Welcome to the Bryk Breakdown. I'm Matt Bryk, your host. The NFL just went through its 11th week. Let's get right into the news. Darius Leonard was released by the Colts, which was a little bit surprising. He will go through waivers, but I read that he most likely won't get claimed because of the money the Colts owe him or whatever. So it's a whole thing. I guess we'll have to monitor that situation. Michael Thomas, the wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, was put on IR with a knee injury. He is out for 4 games. The Rams waived running back Darrell Henderson. The Steelers finally fired their offensive coordinator, Matt Canada. Mike Tomlin said that it was his decision. Joey Bosa was placed on IR with a foot sprain, so he will be out for at least 4 games. The Jets made a quarterback change. Tim Boyle started with Zach Wilson was benched. Tim Boyle played against the Bills last week. And they made Zach Wilson the third-string quarterback, which should have been done week 2, right after Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, and because the Zach Wilson experience has just shown time and time again that he is not a starting quarterback in this football league, in my opinion. Mark Andrews unfortunately suffered a very bad ankle injury. They said he was out for the year, but apparently it is not as bad as initially feared. And there is a, quote, outside chance he could return at some point later on in the year per Coach Harbaugh. But if you have Mark Andrews in your fantasy football leagues, it is for sure going to be done for him. So it's time to drop Mark Andrews. And, of course, in that same Thursday Night Football game, Joe Burrow tore a ligament in his wrist and is now out for the season. Very frustrating, very unfortunate. I wish both of those gentlemen a great recovery, and I hope they can come back better than ever. I hate seeing injuries like this. It's been an epidemic this entire season, especially for quarterbacks. And I hate seeing anyone get hurt. It's really frustrating, and it just takes away from the game. It just the level of football we're seeing isn't the best, but it's the best we get with so many injuries. Devon Chan re-aggravated his knee, and it won't require surgery, but he is slated to practice today. They do play on Black Friday, so I guess we'll get another report tomorrow, and we'll get more on his status for Friday. The 49ers safety Talanoa Hufanga tore his ACL and will miss the rest of the season. Again, hope he will have a quick and speedy recovery. Wish the best for him. Very unfortunate. And Kenneth Walker, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks, suffered an oblique injury and is questionable for tomorrow's game. That's it for the news. Let's get right into the Week 11 review. So I just mentioned it. Thursday Night Football is cursed. The Bengals Ravens game, the injuries for Burrow and Andrews was obviously the biggest storyline of that game. It ruined the whole game, really. The Bengals looked like they were, it looked like it was going to be a shootout type of game, and it looked like the Bengals were going to start cooking. And unfortunately, Joe Burrow tore his ligament in his wrist, and early on in the game, Mark Andrews had that bad ankle injury, and it kind of just ruined the whole game. Yes, the Ravens won. Yes, they beat Browning at quarterback. I want to say, I don't even remember his first name because he's a nobody, but it just sucks. And it was slated to be a great game. It's an actual good Thursday Night Football game. Bengals-Ravens, a divisional game. Can't get more excited to see a game like that and to see 2-star players get hurt on both teams. It's just very, very frustrating for fans of the game. The Browns beat the Steelers and split with DTR at quarterback. Congratulations to him winning his first NFL start. The Texans are still playing great football and beat the Cardinals 21-16. The Jags embarrassed the Titans 34-14 after being completely exposed by the 49ers in Week 10. The Dolphins beat the Raiders, and thankfully Tyreek Hill was able to come back in the game with a hand injury. Devin Achan's status for Black Friday's game is still up in the air. He is questionable right now, like I said earlier. But he is slated to practice today, so that's a good sign. The Cowboys crushed the Panthers 33-10. The Lions came back to beat the Bears after being down 12 points in the fourth quarter. Congratulations to the Lions. The Bears just blew it. Very frustrating, and that's basically it. Bears did what they normally do. The Chargers lost again because Brandon Staley should not be a head coach in the NFL, and Quentin Johnson cannot catch the football. It's embarrassing. It's what I heard during the beginning of the year, the offseason. I heard that Quentin Johnson can't catch a football, and that statement still seems to be true to me. The Giants upset the Washington Commanders with Tommy DeVito. They won 31-19. The 49ers beat the Bucs 27-14. The Bills got their revenge against the Jets, winning 32-6 and split with their division rivals. The Rams won after the Seahawks kicker Jason Myers missed the game-winning field goal, which was 55 yards. Very frustrating for the Seahawks, I can imagine. And now they have to play another divisional rival tomorrow night, I believe, against the San Francisco 49ers. That'll be tough. What else? On Sunday Night Football, the Broncos were able to continue their win streak of now 4 games and beat the Vikings by 1. And an unbelievable Monday Night Football game, the most watched game of the year, the most watched Monday Night Football game in 27 years. The Eagles were down by 10 points at halftime against the Chiefs and scored 14 points unanswered in the second half. Eagles get over the hump. They get their revenge from last year's Super Bowl and are now the best team in the league at 9-1. Now, that will be the end of the review. We're going to talk about the DFS lineup of the week. These are, I do the free DFS lineups on DraftKings, and last week I won $3, so I'm cool with that. So this week at quarterback, I have CJ Stroud, right? That's his name. I have Stroud. At quarterback, how much? Oh, he is 7,700. This is all for DraftKings, so I'm not quite sure about any other DFS money or any of that, but I have Stroud at quarterback. 7,700. My 2 running backs are James Cook at 6,200, and I have Jalen Warren, but I forgot to write down how much he is, so I'm going to look it up right now. As I'm doing that, hold on. Okay, here we go. Jalen Warren is 5,400. Okay. So Cook, 6,200. Jalen Warren, 5,400. My wide receivers are Devonta Smith for 7,100. Nico Collins. I have the stack there with Stroud. Nico is 6,400. Gabe Davis for 5,300. Dalton Kincaid for 5,300 as well. Wow, is that right? Yeah, that's right. I just realized I have 2 Bills. Don't like that. So maybe I take Gabe Davis out. This is what it's like when you realize silliness. You know what? I'm gonna switch Gabe Davis out And I'm going to put Rashee Rice in. So scratch that. Reverse it. So instead of Gabe Davis, I now have Rashee Rice for 5,500. And my tight end is Dalton Kincaid at 5,300. My flex is Elijah Moore at 3,700. And my defense is the Texans defense for 2,600. They are the cheapest defense, but I think that their defense is very decent, and they play a divisional game, which they normally play tough against the Jags. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm happy I switched Gabe Davis out because I wouldn't have liked having the two Bills there. Okay. Yeah, so that's the DFS lineup of the week. If you haven't done DFS, check it out. DraftKings, you can play for free and win some money. It's pretty cool. All right. I also think I had $100 remaining on that lineup, just for people's curiosity. All right, so we are heading into week 12. Let's do some predictions. First things first, there are no buys this week, so that's exciting. We will get the full slate of all the games. With my predictions, my week-to-week predictions are 98 and 66, which is 83.4%, which is pretty good. My off-season predictions, which I did during the off-season, are 98 and 68, which is 79.9%, which is better than I thought it was going to be. Being months out from where we are now. But my week-to-week, which I do every week on this podcast, is 98 and 66, which is pretty good. All right, so Thanksgiving, we have 3 games. The Packers go into Detroit against the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions there because the Lions' record at home is kind of insane. And yes, it is a divisional game, so we have to keep that in mind. I'm going to assume that there's a whole bunch of other divisional games this week, but that's the number one. Let's keep it track. The Commanders play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving as well in Dallas. I'm going to go with the Cowboys on the other divisional game. That's 2. The San Francisco 49ers are in Seattle against the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Niners. That's the 3rd divisional game. I do think that will be a close game. I will not be surprised if the Seahawks come up with the upset after losing by, I want to say, 1 to the Rams, which kind of sucks. Which again, they are at home. They did just play another divisional rival last week, so back-to-back divisional rival games is tough to do. But the way the Niners are playing, I'm going to go with the Niners. The first ever Amazon Prime Black Friday game. The Dolphins are in the Meadowlands against the Jets. I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. That's the 4th divisional game. The 5th divisional game is the Saints at Atlanta against the Falcons. Both teams were on a bye last week, so I'm going to go with the Saints here. Desmond Ridder will be starting, they announced. So I'm going to go with the Saints. I feel like Derek Carr should be able to do something. He needs to figure it out. All right. Now that was what, the 5th, 3, 4, 5, 6th divisional game. The Steelers are in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Unfortunately, no Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with the Steelers here because I trust the Steelers more. They did just fire Matt Canada, so I'm assuming that they'll be doing some different stuff. I don't even remember who the backup is for Joe Burrow. Good luck. It'll be interesting to watch. The Panthers are in Tennessee against the Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans. The Bucks are in Indianapolis against the Colts. The Colts are coming off of a bye. I'm going to go with the Colts. The New England Patriots are in the Meadowlands as well against the Giants. I'm going to go with the Patriots just because they're coming off of a bye, and I think Belichick can beat the Giants. The Jags are in Houston against the Texans. If you go back, I forget what week it was. This division rivalry already happened. The Texans beat the Jags. I think this will be another split. I'm going to go with the Jags here. Will not be shocked at all if the Texans find a way to win. They're playing great right now, but I think the Jags are going to get their revenge and beat the Texans. I think that's another one, right? That's another divisional game. So what is that? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 so far. Jeez. The Browns are in Denver against the Broncos. This is a great game. I think it'll be a great defensive game. I'm going to go with the Browns because I don't know. I feel like the Broncos need to lose at some point. That's just, I could be wrong. This will be a close game for sure. Won't be another game. I won't be shocked whoever wins this game, but I'm taking the Browns. The eighth, oh my gosh, the eighth divisional game is the Rams at Arizona against the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Rams. Yeah, simple as that. The Chiefs, the ninth divisional game. The Chiefs are in Las Vegas against the Raiders. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. The Bills are in Philadelphia against my Eagles. I'm going to go with my Eagles. They're playing great football right now, and they're just finding ways to win football games. So I'm going with my Birds. On Sunday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens are against the Los Angeles Chargers in LA. I'm going to go with the Ravens. Brandon Staley's still their head coach, so I'm still going to go with the Ravens on Sunday Night Football for sure. The Bears and Vikings play in Minnesota on Monday Night Football. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Bears just aren't playing that great of a football. Great football right now. That's it for this show, this podcast, this episode. We're going to end up with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, where there is love, there is life. That is Gandhi. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, follow on Twitter at Bryk Breakdown, at BRYK Breakdown, follow my personal Twitter account at BryckMatt, at BRYKMATT. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.